I'm Raghavendra M. Shetty, Associate Professor, Canara Engineering College, Department of ECE. This video is based on Basic Electronics 18EL and 14 of VTU syllabus. We'll start with a prerequisites. Before starting the syllabus, the prerequisites are mainly focused on preparation of PN junction and how PN junction can be used as a diode or transistors in the later on classes. Atomic structure. Any material is represented as its atomic number. Here hydrogen has atomic number 1, which contains one proton, one neutron at the center and one electron revolving around the orbit. If that electron is removed, hydrogen will become a positive ion. Here is a boron which contains 5 electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. At the nucleus there are 5 protons and 5 neutrons. Protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. Hence, the atom is electrically neutral. The outermost band contains electrons which are called as valence electrons. These valence electrons are very lightly coupled to the center. They are very lightly coupled to the center. That means a minimum force is required to remove that electrons to come out of that band. So these structures will define the materials as insulators, conductors and semiconductors. And it can be very easily explained by the diagram shown in the slide called as energy band diagram, where you have shown a valence band and a conduction band. Valence band contains electrons within force of Eg greater than 5 electrons. If you require a force of more than 5 electrons to move an electron from valence band to conduction band, then it is a large amount of energy required. 5 electron volt is a very large energy required. So it is difficult to move an electron from valence band to conduction band. So this kind of materials are called as insulators. Where conductors, the electrons will move from valence band to conduction band without any much energy required. So they easily shift from valence band to conduction band. So they are called conductors. There are a variety of materials. Wherein very low, not high, moderate energy is required to move from valence band to conduction band. That is less than 5 electron volts. Maybe for silicon it is 1.1 electron volts. For germanium it is 0.75 electron volts, and so on. There are many materials where this movement of valence electrons from valence band to conduction band requires a moderate energy. These category of materials are called as semiconductors. Most popular semiconductors what we study are silicon and germanium. Conductivity. At absolute zero temperature, none of the electron has sufficient energy to jump from valence band to conduction band. In other words, it needs external energy which needs to be supplied with external energy to make the electrons free from the valence band and to move to conduction band. So if that energy required are more, then they are called insulators. Okay. When an electron jumps from valence band to conduction band, it leaves a hole. It leaves a hole, making that atom positively charged because a negative charge has been moved out. This is the forbidden energy gap, what we have discussed in the last slide. Here it is 1 electron volt required for an electron to move from valence band to conduction. Extrinsic or impure semiconductors. First of all, we should know what is pure semiconductor. Any semiconductor, suppose silicon, contains many atoms. Semiconductor material contains many atoms. Each atom has a protons as well as electrons. Protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. Since the charges on them are equal, protons positive charges and electrons negative charges are equal, they are electrically neutral. If the material contains only silicon atoms in it, they are in its pure form. Then what is impure semiconductor? Impure semiconductor is I am adding some other material into silicon. The process of adding a very small amount of impurity into this intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor, this process we call it as a doping. So doping is a process of adding some other material into pure semiconductor, maybe silicon. The impurity atoms which we add to pure semiconductors are called as dopants. So when this semiconductors is added with the impurity, then it is known as impure semiconductor or extrinsic semiconductors. In different methods we can do the doping, that is heating or adding impurity in molten state or bombardment of semiconductors by ions of impurity atoms. There are many methods through which we can do the doping. Let us see the process of doping. When a semiconductor tetravalent, as the name indicates, it is an atom which contains 4 valence electrons. Example, silicon or germanium. When such a silicon or germanium atom which contains 4 electrons are taken and they are doped with the pentavalent, that means an atom with 5 valence electrons are added to this. In short, a silicon atom is taken and added with arsenic, where silicon is tetravalent, that is it contains 4 valence electrons, and arsenic is a pentavalent electron which contains 5 valence electrons. So this process, what we say, is adding this arsenic into silicon. We call this as a doping. When germanium is doped with arsenic or silicon or germanium, both are tetravalent only. With arsenic, the covalent bonds forms, like in this diagram you can see germanium which contains 4 valence electrons, arsenic which contains 5 valence electrons are made a covalent bond, where arsenic 4 electrons are getting bonded with germanium and 1 valence electron gets free. So 4 valence electrons of germanium are bonded to 4 valence electrons of arsenic, leaving behind 1 arsenic electron at the outermost orbit free. These free electrons are responsible for the conduction of current in any material. Now we have 1 extra electron, so this semiconductor now become impure. It becomes impure because arsenic is added, that is a doping, and it contains 1 free electron, so it is negatively charged now, and this material now become N-type semiconductor. Similar to N-type semiconductor formation, if a tetravalent, that is 4 valence electron silicon or germanium, if it is doped with the trivalent impurity like indium, which contains only 3 valence electrons, if indium is added as an impurity to pure semiconductor silicon or germanium, then 3 valence electrons are get bonded with the germanium, leaving behind 1 hole free. That is, when germanium is doped with indium, the 3 valence electrons forms a covalent bond, and the 4th place of germanium atom creates a hole. So the net charge becomes positive. Hence, this leads to an impure semiconductor which contains a positive charges, so it's called as p-type semiconductors. So previously there was 1 electron extra which was negatively charged and we created N-type semiconductors. Now 1 hole is free, resulting in positive charges and is called p-type semiconductor. Finally, to conclude, here is a p-type semiconductor where outermost electron of borons all are filled except 1 free hole, and which leads to a positive charge, and it's called p-type semiconductors. So holes are the majority carriers which are responsible for conduction of current in p-type semiconductors. Similarly, in n-type semiconductors, all the electrons are covalent bonded with silicon atoms, and 1 free electron which is unfilled, which is not filled or not get bonded with any of the outermost electrons of silicon. So 1 is left free, and here this free electron is responsible for the flow of current. Hence, electrons are the majority carriers in n-type semiconductors. So with this, I conclude this PN junction. Thank you.